Alright, first and foremost, I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakar Kwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of greatness throne. Salutations to all the brothers that's pushing this work in all sincerity and in truth. Right? Yes, man, this is a video, as you can see, based upon the Guardian article. And the article states that Virginia teacher sues after being fired for refusing to call trans student he. Now this is the world we live in, man. We live in a very corrupt and polluted world where righteousness don't stand. Because if a person basically maintain in the right standard, right, they are persecuted for that. This teacher was fired from his job because he refused to classify an individual that is biologically made up as a girl, right? He refused to call that individual a he, right? And he got fired. Therefore, the scripture say, yo, what? In the book of, just read that off right now. Right? This is why this kingdom is going to be destroyed, man. Because guess what? It's polluted, yo. You understand? Ecclesiastes 10 verse 6, it said folly is set in great dignity, right? Folly is set in great dignity. When you look up the word folly, let's look up that word. It goes back to the to the Hebrew word sabal or sakal, right? Folly, right? Silliness, concretely and collectively, does folly. Let's look up that word in Google. Lack of good sense, foolishness, right? That is what's set in great dignity, man. That is what's an eye on this world. Because how can you justify to fire a teacher for his standard, his rights, because he believes in something, right? And that individual believes in something. So you can see the hypocrisy that's at play here, man. It's a double standard. Zine, so the article says Peter Veilmin lost his job after claiming his religion prohibited him from using male pronouns for a student who transitioned. A Virginia high school teacher who was fired for refusing to use a transgender student's new pronoun has filed a lawsuit. The Washington Post reported that Peter Vlemin filed suit on Monday against West Point Public Schools system outside Richmond. The French teacher was fired on December 28, having told superiors at West Point High School his religion prevented him from using male pronouns for a student who had informed the school of his transition during the previous summer. According to Vlemin's suit in October 2018, the student approached the teacher and said, "Mr. Vlemin, you may have your religion, but you need to respect who I am." So where's the respect for Mr. Vlemin's religion? You see the double standard? Vlemin, the suit says, replied, "I am sorry, this is difficult." The suit says he reported the exchange to the principal, who told him, "You know what you do to diffuse a situation like that. You say, 'I am sorry, I meant to say him.'" You see that? So the principal is telling Mr. Vlemin to basically submit to the will of the student, submit to being classified as something that it's not. Right? Principal Jonathan Archman later told a school board meeting considering whether to fire Vlemin, he could not think of a worse way to treat a child than what was happening. Actually, according to the scriptures, a child like that should be put to death. According to the Bible, according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. That is not according to nature, it's abomination according to the word of the Heavenly Father. And the judgment for such an act is death, right? So if you want to think of a worse way to treat that child, that worse way is, you know what? After Vlemin was fired, the West Point School superintendent Laura Abel said discrimination leads to creating a hostile learning environment, and the student had expressed that. The parent had expressed that they felt disrespected. So what about the man's religion? What about the man's truth? Right? He's standing for something that is morally correct. He's standing to not be led in a state of confusion as the rest of y'all men. Right? And you feel disrespected because he's standing up for a standard that is right. You see the madness that this world is coming to. The scripture says that the heavenly Father is not the author of confusion. In the book of Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 4 it says, therefore the law is slack, and judgment never go forth, for the wicked will compass about the righteous. So the wicked is getting more justification than the righteous man. Understand? Not saying that this individual, Mr. Vlemin, is entirely righteous, but the stance that he's taking is a righteous stance. You see, he's standing for a moral standard, right? Which is in accordance with the scriptures, right? So it says it's basically remaining in his integrity. According to the TV station WWBT, Vlemin's firing led to student petitions on either side of the issue, and a walkout in which around 100 students carried signs that said men are men, women are women. In his lawsuit, Vlemin says his rights to speak freely. Now, if they don't acknowledge this is showing you that this system is based on a privileged based system. It's showing you that you literally do not have any right to speak up for yourself, to have a standard, and they can remove that right from you, that privilege from you at any time they deem fit, right? So it says in his lawsuit, Vlemin says his rights to speak freely and exercise his religion were violated. The suit states that Vlemin sincerely believes that referring to a female as a male by using an objectively male pronoun is telling a lie, right? Actually, you should refer to that thing as an abomination, right? Now, here's the book of Isaiah 59, verse 14. It says, and judgment is turned away backward, because the correct judgment which is supposed to go forth in a situation like that is that that child, right, should be dealt in accordance with the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures, right? So it says, judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off, right? Where is the justice for Mr. Vlemin? He's fired for doing something that is according to a righteous standard, right? The scripture telling in the book of Ecclesiasticus that let me see where that precept did there again, right? So it tells in the book of Ecclesiasticus, right? Let me just flick that up right away. Ecclesiasticus chapter 34, right? Ecclesiasticus 34, go down to the verse 21. So it says, the bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. He that taketh away his neighbor's living, they did that to Mr. Vlemin, right? For an abominable cause, right? So he that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defrauded the laborer of his hire is a blood shedder, right? So this system is a blood shedding system, man, because whenever individual stands for righteousness, they are persecuted for it. So it said judgments is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off, for truth is falling in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. right? So it displeases the Lord that there is no judgment. Now, what is the Lord going to do about that situation? This is the book of Psalms, Psalms 119, verse 126. It says, "It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law." They have made void thy law, right? They have not adhered to the laws of the Heavenly Father. Therefore, what is going to happen? Alright? Let's look upon that. Alright, 1 second. Right? So this is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, verse, let me start up so. Start up a little bit more, you understand? Verse 4 says, "For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness, to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the whole world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live according ungodly." Right? The word ensample means a warning, zine, something that is used as a warning. Right? So it says, "unto those that after should live ungodly." So the same thing that happened to Sodom and Gomorrah is going to happen to this society, because this society is an ungodly society, and it has made void the law of the Heavenly Father. Therefore, the Lord will work a work, which is this work, zeal, and he delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. The filthy conversation of the wicked means the filthy way of life of the wicked, right? The way of life that the society is abiding by is not according to a righteous standard. That's why the book of Hebrews 13 and 14 says that here we have no continuing city, but we seek it one to come, right? "For that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." Zin, just like how this system is vexing the righteous souls of the men of the Lord, men, with their unlawful deeds. Zin. So the scripture said, "The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of the judgment to be punished." Right? So this is showing you that you're not supposed to leave from your standard. Mr. Vlamin did the right thing by not leaving from his standard. He's persecuted for righteousness' sake. Understand? So therefore, if he's an Israelite, because only the Israelites are promised salvation, if he's an Israelite, he will be delivered if he turns back to the righteous standards of the Heavenly Father completely. Understand? So it says, "to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished." So all of those who are persecuting Mr. Vlamin, right, and they are basically defending that individual right there and abiding by whatever that thing parents is saying, right? The scripture says in the book of Romans 1 verse 32, say, "Who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them." Understand? So if you justify the wicked for a reward, right, you will be caught up in that day of judgment where you will be punished. Understand? So back in 2 Peter 2 and 10, it says, "But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might bring not railing accusation against them before the Lord. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. So all of those who abide in the standards of unrighteousness and continues to pollute this world, man, they, because the scripture say, arise ye and depart, this is not your rest. Zin, it is polluted. It will destroy you even with a sore destruction. All of those who are a part of this society and who abide in the standards of the society shall receive of her plagues when the wrath of the Heavenly Father comes down on it, man. And with that, I want to say, Kalalal, Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, Bashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Grave and Stone, and salutations to all the brothers that's pushing this work in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom.